Yeah guys, good morning. Today we will be discussing about the earthquakes. Okay, like myself, Ramesh Durti, right? I am associated with civil services and the coaching etc. from 1997 onwards, and from 2000 onwards I am into the teaching field. Okay, so today we will be talking about the earthquakes, right? So what is an earthquake? So what exactly is called as an earthquake, right? So the shaking and trembling of a part of the earth crust is called as the earthquake, guys. Part of the earth crust, right? Generally, whenever we talk about the earthquakes, we say that the entire shaking and trembling of the entire earth will be taking place, we think, right? But if entire earth shakes, right, everyone will be dying. Only a part of the earth crust will be shaking, guys. And that shaking and trembling of the earth crust, part of the earth crust, is called as the earthquake, right? And you know, why the shaking and trembling takes place? What is the reason for the shaking and trembling to take place within the earth crust, right? It occurs due to slipping of the rocks or the stones, guys. Okay, along the fault lines within the earth's crust, wherever you are having the breaks, cracks, crevices, in that areas you will be having the slipping of the rocks, and that will be causing the shaking and trembling. Okay, because and that breaking will be taking place only in some of the areas. That is the reason, because of only in some of the areas we will be having the shakings, right? And it is also caused by the release of strained energy, right? If a rock is pressurized, right? If a rock is pressurized, that rock will be taking on the pressure, guys. To what extent it will be taking on the pressure? To its elastic modulus. Every object on the surface of the earth will be having its own elasticity, right? So it will be taking the pressure to an extent of its elastic modulus. Then later what happened? When the threshold is reached, right, that threshold, after it reaches the threshold, right, it will be releasing the stored energy, right? When the stored energy is released, right, that will be causing the shaking and trembling of the earth, right, guys? These are the reasons because of which we will be having the earthquakes occurring. Okay, so what we say, this is the, so when the energy is released, right, we said the stored energy is released, right? So that release of energy will be transmitted in the form of the wave motions or the violent vibrations, right? So that is the reason because of which we are having the shakings and tremblings. Okay, and that is called as the earthquake, right? So when we talk about these earthquakes, right, when we talk about these earthquakes, right, the place where the release of energy is taking place, okay, the point where the energy is released, that is called as the focus, guys. Okay, it is called as the focus. Okay, so the focus is the place of origin of the earthquake, or the release of the energy takes place from that area, right? And you know, after the focus, depending on the depth of the focus, guys, depending on the depth of the focus, the earthquakes are of three types. Okay, one is called as the shallow focused earthquakes. Okay, the shallow focused earthquakes. The other one are called as the intermediate focused earthquakes. The other ones are called as the deep focused earthquakes, depending on the depth of the focus, where exactly the earthquake or the waves started liberating. Depending on the depth, the earthquakes are of three types, right? Shallow focused earthquakes. So what are these shallow focused earthquakes? They are the ones which will be originating within 100 kilometers of the depth from the surface, guys. If this is the earth's surface, okay, if this is the earth's surface, just below 100 kilometers, within 100 kilometers of this range, we will be having the focus, guys. They are called as the shallow focused earthquakes. So mostly these are the earthquakes which are originating within the crust itself. Okay, because of the breaking or because of the faults or because of the cracks, right? Yeah. Second one, the intermediate focused earthquakes, right? So these are the earthquakes which are having their origin at the depths of 200 to 400 kilometers from the surface of the earth. Okay, so from the surface of the earth, 200 to 400 kilometers range, guys, depth range, you will be having their origin. Okay, previously people were not knowing why the earthquakes are occurring, originating at that depths, guys. Okay, but recently they have identified two of the reasons for the occurrence of the earthquakes, origin of the earthquakes at these depths, right? One is, the olivine rocks which are present within the mantle, guys. 200 to 400 kilometers depth means it is in the mantle. It is not in the crust, guys, right? It is in the mantle, right? So in that areas, the olivine rocks are changing themselves into the serpentine rocks. Okay, olivine rocks are changing themselves into the serpentine rocks, which means they are changing their forms, and whenever the forms are being changed, guys, they will be either absorbing the energy or they will be releasing the energy. So here, when the olivine rocks are changing the form into the serpentine rocks, they are releasing tremendous amount of energy, and that is causing the earthquakes. Okay, that is the first reason which has been identified. Okay, the second one, in the intermediate areas, guys, the geoscientists have identified that at that depths, right, huge water reserve is present in the mantle, guys. Okay, water, H2O reserves are present in the mantle. So in the mantle, the temperatures are very high, right? So the water will not be present in the form of water, guys. When the temperatures are high, they will be present in the form of gaseous state. Even after the gaseous state, even the temperatures are more than the requisite amounts, they will be entering into the plasma stage. So they have identified that at this depth, huge quantities of water reserves are present in their plasma state. Okay, so when they are present in the plasma state, what does that mean? They are having tremendous amount of energy embedded in them, right? And the water will be releasing and imbibing the energy, guys, because it is in the plasma state. So that is causing the occurrence of the earthquakes. Okay, so the reasons for the intermediate earthquakes are because of the energy release from the plasmatic water. The second one is the transformation of olivine rocks into the serpentine rocks. Okay, the third type, the deep focused earthquakes, guys. The deep focused earthquakes. These earthquakes are also occurring in the upper mantle only, right? But at the depth of 600 to 700 kilometers. These are also called as the plutonic earthquakes, guys. Okay, they are also called as the plutonic earthquakes. So why these earthquakes are occurring? Right? These earthquakes are occurring because, the subduction of the plates are taking place, guys. Okay, in the plate tectonic theory, right, two of the plates which are coming towards each other, because the plate tectonic theory says that the Earth's crust is made up of several rigid plates, right? Yeah. So when the subduction of one plate is taking place, means when one of the plate, the denser plate will be dipping into the mantle, guys. So when it is going into the mantle, right? So after going into the depths of 600 to 700 kilometers, right, the breaks are being caused in the crustal plate, guys, right? That is giving out tremendous amount of energy release, and that is causing the deep focused earthquakes. Okay, so focus is the point where the earthquakes are getting originated. Depending on the depth of the focus, the earthquakes are of three types: shallow, intermediate, and deep focused earthquakes. Okay, then comes the epicenter. What is epicenter? Epicenter is the place exactly above the focus on the ground, right? So if this is the focus within the crust or below the crust, right, the place exactly right? The place exactly on the focus, guys, on the ground, is called as the epicenter. And this is the place where the earthquake waves are first felt, guys, because the focus is the place which is very, very, very close to the place of the first feelings. Because if you look at this area, guys, right, if you look at this area, see, focus is here. So this is the shortest of the area, right? Wherever, in whichever the direction they want to go, right, they cannot go, guys, because this is very short here, right? From here, if the earthquake waves have to travel into these directions, that is very long distance. This is the shortest distance. That is the reason because of which the earthquake waves are first felt, guys, and that is called as the epicenter, right? Next is the seismograph. So the instrument which records the earthquakes is known as the seismograph, guys. And seismograph is very, very simple instrument, guys. Very simple instrument which will be having the paper and hanging pointer. Okay. So what happened? As the paper is going down, the pointer will be causing the ECG like marks, guys. Okay. So that is seismograph. Let us suppose this is the paper going down. Okay, this is the paper going down, right? And here you are having the pointer, guys. So what happened? The pointer will be shaking whenever the earthquake occurs, right? This is the spring enabled pointer. So that will be shaking, right? So what happened? The markings will be going on either side, guys. So these markings will be put on the Richter scale. That will be showing the magnitude of the earthquake, guys, right? More the magnitude, more will be the shakings, right? So when the shakings are more, automatically this will be going like this, guys. Okay. So that is the Richter scale, guys. So the magnitude of the earthquake, right, is recorded by the Richter scale. What exactly is magnitude? The force with which the energy is liberated is called as the magnitude, guys. Okay, we have said that the stored energy is released or the waves are released from the focus. So from the focus, with what force the energy is released, that is called as the magnitude, guys. Okay, that's the reason because of which the magnitude of the earthquake, whenever we talk, guys, we say that the magnitude is 5.6, 7.7, 6.9 something. Right? But when we talk about the intensity of the earthquake, okay, when we talk about the intensity of the earthquake, we say that the intensity is maximum at one point and it is lessening on the other point, guys. What does that mean? The intensity of the earthquake is measured on the Mercalli scale, and now they are using the modified Mercalli scale, guys. Right? So the intensity will be maximum nearer to the epicenter. Okay, nearer to the epicenter, right, the intensity will be maximum. As you are going away from the epicenter, the intensity will be going on getting dissipated, guys. It will be going on lessening, and at certain extent, you will not be finding any intensity. So what is intensity? It is a force of destruction. Okay, magnitude, the force of energy liberated, right? The intensity is the force of destruction. So the force of destruction will be maximum nearer to the epicenter. As you are going away, it will be going on decreasing, guys. Right? And now, depending on the magnitude on the Richter scale, the earthquakes are of 4 types, guys. Okay, depending on the magnitude of the earthquakes are of 4 types. Okay, if the magnitude of the earthquake is less than 4.9 on the Richter scale. Okay, if the magnitude is less than 4.9 on the Richter scale, they are called as the slight earthquakes. They are called as the slight earthquakes, right? They will not cause any harm to the human beings, guys. Okay, so they are very normal. And in general, nowadays we are seeing that the newspaper people are writing that some of the areas of peninsular India have recorded the magnitude of less than 3 and that caused the shakings. Actually, if the magnitude of the earthquake is less than 4, guys, okay, if the magnitude of the earthquake is less than 4, we will not even feel the shakings of the earth, right? And that type of shakings and tremblings are always taking place within the earth's crust. Okay, but if the magnitude is less than 9, 4.9, we are calling them as the slight earthquakes, right? If the magnitude is ranging between 5 to 6.9, 5 to 6.9, they are called as the moderate earthquakes, guys. Okay, they are called as the moderate earthquakes. So they will be causing the shakings and tremblings, but the destruction will be very less, guys. Okay, destruction will be very, very less, right? Then comes the high earthquakes, right, where the magnitude is ranging between 7 to 7.9, guys. They are called high earthquakes. Okay, if the magnitude is ranging between 7 to 7.9, they are called as the high earthquakes. They are highly destructive in nature, guys. They will be causing phenomenal destruction on the surface of the earth. Lots of buildings, etc. will be getting collapsed, right? The earth's crust will be getting the cracks. Okay, guys, the faults will be created, etc. Then, if the magnitude of the earthquake is more than 8, okay, 8 and above, they are called as the catastrophic earthquakes, guys. Catastrophic earthquakes. Catastrophe means heavy destruction. Earthquakes are sudden phenomena, but here catastrophic means heavy destructions, guys. Complete destruction will be taking place, right? So what exactly is happening, you know? Whenever one point is increasing in the magnitude, if the earthquake's magnitude is increased by 1 point, right, the intensity of the earthquake will be increased by 10 folds, guys. There is a reason because of which 6.9 nothing will be happening, right? If it is 7.9, everything in that area will be completely destroyed. So 1 point increase will be increasing the 1 point increase in the magnitude will be increasing the intensity by 10 folds, guys. Okay, so this is related to the focus, epicenter, seismograph, magnitude and intensity, right? Now we'll be talking about the waves, guys, right? So when we talk about the waves, right, so when we talk about the waves, right, from the focus we say that the waves are liberated. Okay, guys, from the focus, the energy is liberated and the energy is in the form of the waves. Okay, so that waves are called as the seismic waves or the earthquake waves, guys. The waves which are liberated from the focus are called as the seismic waves or the earthquake waves. And most of you may be thinking that here I have written they are of 2 types. And in all your textbooks or the materials, they might have written that they are of 3 types. Okay, but that was the previous classification of the waves, guys. This is the new classification, right? The previously, see, whenever the technologies are a little bit obsolete or outdated, right, we will be having different information coming to us, right? And when the technological upgradation is taking place, guys, we will be getting more of the information. Right? So at present, with the present day technology, we have come to know that the earthquake waves are of 2 different types, guys. They are the body waves and the surface waves. Previously, what we thought, you know, the earthquakes are of 3 types. The earthquake waves are of 3 types, and they are the P waves, S waves, and T waves. Primary waves, secondary waves, and tertiary waves. Okay, that was the old classification, but the new classification we are telling that they are of 2 types, and they are first type the body waves, second type the surface waves, guys. Body waves are the ones which will be passing through the body of the which will be passing through the body of the earth, guys. Okay, so they will be passing through the body of the earth. Clear? Body waves are the ones which will be passing through the body of the earth. Surface waves are the ones which will be traveling towards the surface, guys. Okay, surface waves are the ones which will be traveling towards the surfaces or nearer to the earth's surface. Body waves travel through the body, surface waves come nearer to the earth's surface. Okay, so what are these body waves which we are seeing, guys? The body waves are of two types, the primary waves and the secondary waves, or the P waves and the S waves, guys. So what are these P waves? Right? They are called as the primary waves because they are the first waves to be generated from the focus. Because they are coming out for the first, they are called as the primary waves, guys. Okay, P waves are the primary waves because they are generated first from the focus. Okay, and in the P waves, guys, obviously the earthquake particles will be moving like this. Okay, the earthquake particles will be moving like this, let us suppose. Right? So, earthquake waves will be moving in one direction. Waves will be moving in one direction. And the particles which are present in the earthquakes, right, they will be moving in forward and backward directions, guys. Forward and backward directions. Which means they will be moving in the form of rarefactions and compressions. Okay, they are moving in forward and backward direction like this. If the wave is moving in this direction, the particles are also moving in the same direction with forward and backward motion, guys. So whenever the motions are forward and backward, right, the penetration power is more. Clear, guys? Whenever the motion of the particles is forward and backward, the penetration power will be more, guys. If you have seen the, excuse me, guys. Here, if you have seen the drill machines which are used for digging the roads, guys, you can see that they will be moving forward and backward, right? And if you are seeing the drill machines which are used for drilling the holes into the wall, guys, they will be having the hammer effect. Okay, they will be having the hammer effect. And if you are using that same drill on the wood, right, the hammer effect is not required, guys. But on the wall, you will be requiring the hammer effect because whenever the motions are forward and backward, the penetrations will be deeper. So the P waves, right, the particles are moving forward and backward, right, in the form of compressions and rarefactions, right? And because of this compression and rarefaction type of movement, they are also called as the longitudinal waves or the compressional waves. Okay, the P waves are also called as the compressional waves or the longitudinal waves, guys. Right? And because of their forward and backward movement, right, they can even pass through the core, guys. Okay, they can even pass through the core. If you look at this blue color waves, guys, right, the blue color waves, they are passing through the core also. Because if anything is there, guys, suppose you want to nail a, you want to put up a nail onto the wall. Right? If you just press it, will it go? You have to hammer it, guys. Forward and backward motion. Okay. So here the P waves will be moving forward and backward. Hence, they are even passing through the core, guys. Core is very denser. Right? So in spite of that, the P waves will be passing through them. But it has been witnessed that between 104 to 140 degrees, guys, on either side, because the earthquake waves, when they are starting, they will be starting simultaneously, right? They will be starting simultaneously. So this side and this side, between 104 to 140 degrees, right? the P waves have not been recorded, guys. So what exactly is happening in the interior of the earth, we don't know. Clear, guys? Actually, we are telling that they are passing through the core also, and the core is the densest of all the areas, right? But they have been not recorded between 104 to 140 degrees on either side, guys. Hence, it is called as the shadow zone of the P waves. Okay. The second waves are the S waves. Okay. The S waves. Because they are originated after the primary waves, they are called as the secondary waves, guys. Because they are originated after the primary waves, they are called as the secondary waves. Right? And in these waves, right, the wave particles will be moving perpendicular to the direction of the wave, guys. Okay. So, particles will be moving perpendicular. Okay. They will be moving perpendicular, guys. Okay. If the wave is moving in this direction, okay, if the wave is moving in this direction, the wave particles are moving in perpendicular direction to the wave. Right. So, what is happening? If suppose the wave has to go, guys, P waves, what is happening? They are moving forward and backward. So, they will be penetrating. Right. Here, the wave particles are moving up and down. So, automatically what happened? They will be causing the obstructions. They will be getting the obstructions, guys, because they are touching the other area. So, they cannot move faster. Okay. There is a reason because of which what is happening, you know, the velocities of the S waves are 60% lesser than the P waves. Okay, guys. The velocities of the S waves are 60% lesser than the P waves. So, obviously what happened? There, when the velocities decrease or reduce, their penetration power also reduces. That is the reason because of which what is happening, you know, the S waves does not pass through the core, guys. So, as the core comes, they are getting deflected out. If this is the core, they are coming from here. So, they will be just deflected, getting deflected out. Right. So, they will never enter into the core. So, that is the reason because of which they say that from 105 to 180 degrees, okay, from 105, from here to here and from here to here, guys. Okay. So, from 105 to 180 degrees on either side, the P waves are, S waves are not recorded, and that is called as the shadow zone of the S waves, guys. Okay. So, this is the body waves. So, the body waves are divided or differentiated into two types, the P waves and the S waves, right. So, the S waves are also called as the shear waves or the transverse waves, guys. The S waves are also called as the transverse or the shear waves. Okay. Yeah. Next comes the surface waves. Previously, the surface waves were called as the tertiary waves, guys, because at that time the technology was not immense or so advanced, right. We could not find out the variation between two different waves, and we thought that it is only the single wave which is coming out and which is going towards the surface. So, we called it as the tertiary wave, right. Even now also we are calling them as the surface waves as the tertiary waves only, but we have identified that the tertiary waves are having two different types of waves generated, and the tertiary waves are the ones which will be causing lots of destruction, guys. Okay, and the tertiary waves will be moving in the form of ripples. Okay, they will be moving in the form of ripples or the waves, guys. Right, and the tertiary waves are differentiated into two types. Right, so they are differentiated into two types. One is the L waves, the other one is the R waves. L waves and the R waves. Okay, the L waves, right? The L waves are the love waves, guys. The L waves are the love waves. Love is the person who has calculated the destructive power of the waves, guys. Hence, the name has been ascribed to them as the love waves. Okay, so love waves, obviously all the tertiary waves are moving in the form of ripples, right? So, how they are moving, you know, the earthquake particles, if the wave is moving in this direction, okay, if the earthquake wave is moving in this direction, right, the particles will be moving up and down in circular motion, guys. They will be moving up and down in circular motions with a slight of the angle, guys. Okay, so if the surface waves, how they are moving? They are moving up and down in a circular motion. So automatically what happened? The earth crust will be getting bowed up. Okay guys, the earth crust which is like this, they will be getting bowed up. They will be getting curved, guys, but with an angle. So what is happening? Slightly it is changing its direction. Right. So on the surface of the earth, we will be having lots of structures, buildings, etc. When it is bowed up, automatically what happens? All the structures which are present on the surface will be crumbled down. Okay. Then the Rayleigh waves. Right. Here they also move up and down in the circular motion, but with a different angle, guys. Okay. So first ones, the love waves are causing the bowing off of the crust. Right. Then the second one, the Rayleigh waves, R waves, what they do? They will be pulling the bowed up area, guys, because they are moving with different angles. This is raised and they are pulling in one direction. So the crust, when it is pulled, guys, it will be having the cracks developed. Okay. So this will be, the love waves will be causing the destruction or crumbling of all the structures present on the surface, and the Rayleigh waves will be causing the cracks to be developed on the surface of the earth. Okay, so these two waves are coming out simultaneously, guys, liberated simultaneously. So what is happening? They are causing maximum of the destruction. Okay, they are highly destructive in nature, guys. Okay, so this is related to the Rayleigh waves and the love waves, right? The love waves are also called as the queer waves, guys. The love waves are also called as the queer waves. Okay, yeah. So this is related to the types of waves. Okay, next we will be going for the classification of the earthquakes, guys. So the classification of the earthquakes. We have already seen the classification based on the focus, depth of the focus. We have already seen the classification based on the magnitudes, right? So the depths are varying, the magnitudes are varying, right? So whenever we want to classify something, guys, we should have some similarities. Okay, why the classification is done? Only to have the similarities so that we can have the best of the understanding. But if you look at the earthquakes, they are having wide ranges, guys, wide range of variations, right? The magnitudes are different and the ranges are different. That is the reason because of which they cannot be put into certain categories. Okay, they cannot be put into certain categories. There is a reason because of which they are classified. The earthquake waves are classified on the basis of the causative factors, guys. Based on the causative factors. On the basis of the factors which are responsible for the cause of the earthquakes, right? The earthquakes are differentiated into two types. Number one, the natural earthquakes. Number two, the anthropogenic or the man-made earthquakes, guys. Man-made or the anthropogenic earthquakes, right? First, the natural earthquakes. So they are originating naturally without any efforts of the humans, guys, and they are endogenic forces. They are originated by the endogenic forces. The forces which are originating below the surface of the earth's crust are called as the endogenic forces, guys. If this is the earth's crust, okay, if this is the earth's crust, anything which is originated below the earth's crust, they are called as the endogenic forces. So all the natural earthquakes are originating because of the endogenic forces, guys, the endogenic forces naturally, right? And the natural earthquakes are differentiated into four types. Number one, the tectonic earthquake. Tectonic earthquakes. right? So these are the earthquakes which are caused by the movement of the plates, guys. Right? We have seen the plate tectonic theories, right? Where the plates will be moving. Either they will be coming towards each other or they will be moving away from each other, convergent, divergent or transform. They will be moving against each other. Whenever they are causing any type of movement, they will be causing the earthquakes, guys. Right? For example, the biggest of the earthquake which has been witnessed nearer to the California, guys. Right? The Californian earthquake is because of the San Andreas fault. A movie is also been made on the San Andreas fault, guys. Okay, so there is a fault line nearer to the California, right? And that is because of the transform boundary, guys. Okay, because of the transform boundary. What's happening in the San Andreas fault, you know? The Pacific plate, right? And the American plate are there, guys. Pacific plate is oceanic plate, right? And the American plate is the crustal or continental plate, guys. Okay, right? So what is happening? Whenever both are converging, guys, the oceanic plate will be subducting. But here the oceanic plate is moving northward and the American plate is moving southward. Transform, right? So whenever two of the plates are moving against each other horizontally, guys, the plate boundaries are not smooth or greased ones so that they can glide past each other. They are highly rugged, guys. So automatically what happened when they move, right, they will be causing the shaking of the surrounding areas, right? So the San Andreas fault has caused the Californian earthquakes, guys. Sagami Bay earthquakes, right? The Hokkaido Honshu Islands of Japan, guys, right? They received the biggest of the earthquake in 1923. Again, this is because of the transform boundary, guys. Okay, next our Bhuj, Gujarat in 2001. This is also because of the transform boundary. The Indian plate, let us suppose this is the peninsular India, guys. Gujarat and this is the peninsular India, right? Beside the peninsular India, let this my right hand is the Arabian plate. This is the Indian plate, this is the Arabian plate. Indian plate is moving up. Okay, Indian plate is moving up and the Arabian plate is moving down, guys. So automatically the plates are moving against each other, right? So that has created the Bhuj earthquake. And all are this because of the endogenic forces only, guys, right? That is the tectonic earthquakes, first type. Second, isostatic earthquakes. Okay, the earth's crust requires certain balance, guys. Okay, earth's crust requires the balance, right? If the balance is lost within the earth's crust, because earth's crust is made up of several layers of rocks. Okay, there are several layers of rocks present within the earth's crust, guys, right? So it requires certain stability, right? If the earth crust is losing the balance, what happens? The rocks will be changing their positions. Okay, so when the rocks changes their positions, right, the earth tries to adjust itself to attain the stability, guys. Okay, the internal areas of the earth, they will be adjusting themselves to attain the stability within the earth's crust, and that will be causing the shakings and tremblings, guys. And if you look at our India, right, Himalayas, guys, every year you will be seeing the earthquakes in the northern Himalayas, the Ladakh areas or the areas of POK. Every year you will be having the earthquakes witnessed because the Himalayas are rising. Okay, the Himalayas are rising. So the rocks which are present in the Himalayas and the surrounding areas, guys, they are getting disturbed, right? So they try to adjust themselves to attain the stability. When they are adjusting, the surrounding areas will be shaking. They are called as the isostatic earthquakes. Okay, the third one, plutonic earthquakes. Just now when we are talking about the deep focused earthquakes, guys, right, we say that the earthquakes are caused due to the breaking down of the plates in the mantle. Okay, so the deep focused earthquakes are called as the plutonic earthquakes. Okay, the deep focused earthquakes are also called as the plutonic earthquakes. Then comes the volcanic earthquakes, guys. The volcanic earthquakes. See, what exactly is a volcano? Okay, what exactly is a volcano? Right? If this is the earth crust, right, the expulsion of lava onto the surface of the earth is called as a volcano, guys. Okay, but before the lava is coming out, exploding out, right, it is coming from the interior of the earth, guys, and this is the crust. This is the mantle. Okay, this will be coming into the crust, and here the crust will be going on getting melted, guys. Wherever you are having the weaknesses within the crust, that will be going on getting melted. So automatically what happened, when this is melting, the solid is melting, it will be giving out certain gases also. So the gases will be getting accumulated in these areas, guys. It will be like pressure cooker. In the pressure cooker, what happens? In the pressure cooker, what happens, guys? Whenever some dal gets stuck into the vessel, right, it will be exploding. Okay, so it is not allowing the pressure to come out. In the same manner, heavy pressure is built up here. Okay, guys, heavy pressure will be building up here, and in due course of the time, the pressure will be so immense that the upper areas will not be in a position to withhold that pressure. So this everything will be getting blasted out, guys. They are called as the volcanic earthquakes, right? So the earthquakes of Krakatoa, Indonesia, and Etna near Sicilian island of Italy, guys, they are because of the volcanic eruptions, right? And when this Krakatoa earthquake has exploded, guys, right, it has given out tremendous amounts of dust particles and the solids liberated into the atmosphere. And in 1883, the globe was completely surrounded by the dust liberated from the earthquake, guys. So you can imagine how much of the dust will be liberated, right? Day before yesterday, right, one of the volcanoes erupted in Spain, guys. Okay, and one more volcano has erupted in Japan. Just within 2 or 3 days of span, 2 of the volcanoes have erupted. But the Japanese volcano which has erupted, it is going on giving, or it is going on spewing the dust particles and the smoke. Whereas the Spain volcano, it is going on giving out the rivers of lava. Okay, guys. So these are the volcanic earthquakes. So the natural earthquakes are caused because of 4 different reasons: tectonic movements, tectonic earthquakes, stabilizing movements, isostatic earthquakes, plutonic earthquakes, the deep focused earthquakes, and the volcanic earthquakes. Right. Next comes the anthropogenic or the man-made earthquakes. Okay, so it is the ill-judged, non-scientific activities of the humans are causing the earthquakes to be originated, guys. Okay, so what are the human activities which are causing the earthquakes? Number 1 is the exploitation, over-exploitation of the crude oil and the water, guys. The over-exploitation of the crude oil and water, right? I will be telling you how they will be causing the earthquakes, guys. Right? Suppose this is the crust. Here you are having the aquifer full of water. Right? So we are exploiting the water, guys. We are taking out the water. Right? The exploitation of the water has become it's going on taking place at the faster rate, guys. But the aquifers will not be getting filled at the same rates, because the aquifers will be having the water recharge coming from somewhere. So they will be coming very slowly, guys. Our exploitation is at the faster rate, the recharge is very slow. So automatically what happened? The water level will be going on reducing day by day. Okay, when the water level reduces, right, the interior of the rocks will be filled by the gases, guys. Okay, they will be filled by the gases, and the earth does not want to have any gaps in the interior, guys. So what happened? The earth will be trying to adjust itself to take off all the gases or the void places. So when it is trying to come down, it will be causing the earthquakes. Over exploitation of water, right? Over exploitation of the crude oil is also been done in the same manner, right? How the crude oil is being exploited, guys? right? The crude oil is exploited from the sedimentary rocks, right? The sedimentary rocks which are having the caps of non-porous rocks, guys. Okay, because sedimentary rocks are all porous, hold ones. Okay, but what happens if the holes are present? Through the holes, the evaporation takes place and they will be coming out because the Earth's interior is having the hot temperatures, guys. So, the sedimentary rocks which are having the non-porous caps, in these areas you will be having the petroleum or the crude oil reserves, guys. Okay, so let us suppose these are all the layers of sediments, right, whole ones, and here we are having some crude oil reserve, guys. Crude oil has been created there. How the crude oils are being created, guys? How they are formed? Fossils. Okay, when the animals die, right, they will be giving out the oil deposits, guys. Okay, so what happened? The animals dead long time back and they have created the oil deposit here. But because the oil is less denser than the water, guys, right, and these are the porous layers, the water will be seeping from somewhere, right? So the water will be occupying the lower layers and it will be pushing the oil to the surface, guys, nearer to the surface. But as the oil is rising, what is happening? This has been contained by the non-porous rocks, right? So the oil has been raised in the sedimentary layers, but after coming here, you are having the non-porous rock, guys, that is not allowing the oil to come up. So the oil will be getting deposited in the anticlines of the sedimentary rocks, guys. And what we will do? We will be exploiting them. Okay, we will be exploiting them, guys. And when we are exploiting them, previously we were using the hydraulic pressures. We were pressurizing the water to the interiors, and when the water is going inside, what happened? The petrol will be coming up. So we used to exploit the petrol. But now because of the increased technology, we are pressurizing the air, guys. Right? So when we are pressurizing the air is causing the petrol to flush out. So when we are pressurizing the air, automatically the interiors are being filled by the gases. And the Earth's interior does not want to have the gases, guys. So it will be causing that gases to come out, and that is the reason because of which we are having the earthquakes occurring. So over exploitation of crude oil or water is causing the earthquakes. Second is unscientific minings, guys. Okay, in the minings we are using the blastings, right? And in the minings, you know, whenever you are taking out something from the Earth's interior, when you are digging out something from the Earth's interior, right, after the mineral is taken out, guys, that has to be stuffed by the sand. As I just told you, the Earth's interior does not want to have any gaps. But what our fellows are doing, they are taking out the mineral and they are leaving the gaps like that only intact. Right? So the Earth will be trying to adjust itself, guys. Right? In many of the coal bearing areas, coal mine areas, you will be seeing that the sinking of the Earth is taking place and causing the earthquakes. It is because of this unscientific mining activities only, guys. Okay, yeah. The next one is the construction of the reservoirs or the dams. Okay, the construction of the reservoirs or the dams is also one of the reason for the earthquakes. Okay, one of the reasons for the earthquakes, guys. So, what is happening when the dams are constructed? If suppose the river is flowing like this, guys. Okay, on the ground the river is flowing. The flowing water does not carry any mass. So, the pressure on the land is less. There is no pressure on the land because the waters were flowing. And now we have constructed a dam here. So, what happened? The water will be getting accumulated here in the dam, guys, or the reservoir. Right. So, what is happening here? The weight of the water is going on increasing here. And that wave will be putting the pressure on the rocks which are present below, guys. Okay. So, the weight of the water is increasing the pressure. So, the pressure will be put on the, or it will be exerted on the rocks. So, what happened? This rock which is being pressurized, right? This rock which is pressurized will be dissipating the energy to the side rocks, guys. So that will be dissipating the energy. Then what happen? From this rock, it will be going into the surrounding other rocks, guys. So they will be going on dissipating the energies from one rock to the another rock till the rocks where they are having the weaknesses. Right? The areas which are having the weaknesses, in this area, the energy will be liberated. And this area may be 100 or 150 kilometers away from the dam, guys. Okay, so that is also a cause of our earthquakes, guys. The Koyna Dam is the reason because of the earthquakes which are occurring in the Maharashtra region, guys. Okay, then the nuclear explosions. Obviously, underground nuclear explosions, they will be causing everything to be shaken, guys. Right? When we have conducted the nuclear explosions, where we have conducted the nuclear explosion? Pokhran, guys, Rajasthan, right? When we have conducted the nuclear explosions in the Pokhran, right, the tremors of the earthquakes were recorded way back in New Zealand, guys. Okay, that's how the world has come to know that something big has happened, guys. Okay, so this is the causes. These are the causes which are initiated by the humans, guys, causing the earthquakes. So based on the causing factors, the earthquakes are of two types, so natural and anthropogenic. Natural, tectonic, isostatic, plutonic and volcanic, and human factors are over-exploitation of the water, unscientific mining and blastings, nuclear explosions and construction of the reservoirs and the dams, guys. Okay, hope you understood what we are trying to tell in the classroom, guys. Okay.